小伙伴们，大家好，欢迎来到水之哥的奇幻士游戏攻略。这期视频是第二章的主线一脉诅咒。跟任务指示我们上去睡一觉。
It looks familiar, and yet different. Is this a dream? I need to get out of here. Fool. Father.
Blind fool.
Well, what don't I see? Maybe you could give me an answer this time.
What don't you know?
Why is the golem pursuing our blood? You've not just put me in danger, but Liga as well. Who did you hurt so much that the golem was aiming to? Hold on. It succeeded, didn't it? That's what killed you. That's what made the building fall on you. Why did you let a rat like Konieczkin into our home? Now he's dogging Liga and me. Were you working for him? Did you start informing on your customers for him?
A fool's theory.
Who inflicted this punishment on you? What for? And how the hell do I lift it?
Everything I've done
Was with your children in mind. I've heard it all before. For our good, I know. Thanks a lot. I didn't ask you for anything. Certainly not for someone like Konieczkin to cover for me. I didn't make you get into bed with him. Are you finally going to say something?
You've wasted your time. I left you all the answers. You just have to find them.
Where am I supposed to look for them? In the Black Grimoire, which I nearly got from you? In that case, where is it? Who was it? Your friends? Your coterie that you hid even from your lover? Who are they? What were you planning?
You possess everything I had. I've left you everything you need.
Come back here! I'm not finished with you yet!
接着我们找姐姐交谈，顺便接个电话。这个电话呢是这个空中的马这个任务这个支线的。这个到第二章我们就能接到电话了。
Teodosia Majewska's bathhouse. Victoriusz speaking.
Trotsky, this is Pilavin.
I was waiting for your call, Commissioner. Go on.
They released Kayetan in the morning. I thought you'd want to know. I cleared him of all the charges, but he doesn't really care.
How did the fisherman's, I mean Clara's case end?
They'll hang her. No one will miss her.
I understand. Thank you, Commissioner. I'll take care of his mood. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Look who's up. Sleeping Beauty. Have some coffee. In the morning, Grażynka brews it strong. All the revelations yesterday overwhelmed me a little. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my outburst.
I see a familiar look on your face. It's the one Father often gave me when he expected me to behave a particular way.
Did it work?
Forgive me for yesterday. Warsaw was getting to me.
Yes, I know the feeling. And I don't want to quarrel with you either. We'd be better off focusing on the obstacles ahead of us. I thought that, given our situation, your suggestion to talk to Konieczkin wasn't so bad after all.
I suspect he'll offer us a deal with the devil.
For now, I'm just thinking out loud. What's next?
I had a dream about Father.
Me too. Right after he died. He was soothing me with my favorite lullaby.
First he insulted me, and then blood poured down his face.
Very funny. Do you see him often in your dreams?
This was only the second time. I hope there will be more. It's been a long time since I was quarantined in the hospital. They're not ordinary dreams. They're very realistic visions. I talk to him, I ask questions, but I can't understand his answers.
Why don't we focus on real life?
Has anything been reported about Port Praga?
I've been keeping an eye out, but nothing yet. But Svetlana's disappearance won't go unnoticed for long. Hyenas like fresh corpses.
I know that you're still sorting through things there, but I really have to visit our store in Mirów.
I'm basically done, and I was planning to go there now after breakfast. Will you join me?
I should look through all of Father's things in the store. Everything he left behind.
All right, let's go.
Not much has changed here.
Just the sign. Or maybe the owner.
That's right. Now it's your kingdom.
I don't think queens dig through columns of numbers, exotic names, addresses, and consignment notes. Or scald customers who don't know the difference between powdered skull and powdered mummy. Have you developed an interest in the family business?
Actually, what is the difference between mummy powder and skull powder?
Skull powder is powder from a skull. You use it to make an extract for apoplexy and bleeding. Thomas Willis, a pioneer of brain research, had a habit of adding it to his hot chocolate. Powdered mummy is an oil. Egyptian mummies are covered in a dark substance that's a mixture of embalming fluids and organic fluids from the body of the deceased. This hardened human resin has to be scraped off the mummy and made into an oil. It helps with wounds, rashes, sore throats, and dizziness.
It sounds like that substance is bitumen. And there are easy ways of getting it than scraping mummies.
That might be. But our customers prefer scraped mummies. Unless you're considering diversifying our selection.
This conversation has convinced me even more that Father left the business in the right hands.
Come into my chamber. I have to take care of the inventory. Try not to make more of a mess than there already is.
What is this?
The photograph, Victor. A marvelous invention. Father was very fond of them.
I meant what Father has on his face. That smile. I'm sure someone he disliked had just died.
Did you want something, or are you here to joke around?
When was this picture taken?
Who knows, a quarter century ago? We must not have even been 5. You two look more and more alike.
Don't scare me. The guy next to Father, that's Hayat, right?
Yes, he's just younger, Victor. That's how photographs work, you know. They stop time and place. I can also see here that they were friends. But a year ago, that ended and they stopped working together.
Yes, you mentioned it recently.
It's a shame Papa never said why.
Could Hayat have wanted our father to die? Could he have sent the golem after him?
I think you'll have to ask him. I heard that he bought out one of the 2 rundown laundries here in Mirov, not too far away. You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm taking another look around.
Is that?
Yes. I'll take a quick look around.
Be careful. On my way.
好，这边我们回去搜索一下书房，然后再去找他。这边是一张新的地图啊，这个米鲁夫区。第2章我们还会接触到其他新的地图，同时，其他原来探索过的地图会出现新的收集品。这边我们先去电车站，然后先回到家里的书房去找线索。好，来到家里的2楼，先把都调查一遍。危险朋友，哎，没有这个任务，为什么这个是？哦，有这个任务啊，没事啊，我们先把线索都给拿了，反正都要拿。
I have to find their meeting place.
这2个都是危险朋友的，是这个。大概在上面，只要东西都在一块，这些线索任务都在一块，没关系啊，先给他拿了。好，这些线索找到之后，我们先去这个诺日克犹太会堂。好，我们前往这个米鲁夫区。米鲁夫区什么玩意？好难读啊！然后进到这个教堂啊，然后我们和这个经师交谈。先看剧情。
You said a month, 2 at most. I believed you. Then came the very first rain, and it was pouring in again. You fixed it, then the next rain. Soaked. I can't sleep because I have to keep emptying buckets. It's leaking just as badly as it was before. But the eyes of God are in every place, and they're watching.
Rabbi, when I said 2 months, you said there was 1 hole in the ceiling, but the whole building is in shambles here.
I can do it.
Quiet. You can seal up your daddy's barn with straw. The roof is gonna get holes because the foundations are crumbling.
So, let's go down to the basement.
Oh no, definitely not there.
What's in the basement that's so frightening?
Hashem, something down there reeks so awful that...
Come now, don't be silly. Why do you afflict me so? I know why, because you know I shall bear it. Well, sir, are you just here to listen, or have you got something to say?
Am I speaking to Rabbi Sofer?
You see, all I gotta do is mention these cellars and his name comes up.
Would Hashem let a synagogue be haunted?
Hey now, quiet.
You're too late, I'm afraid. My name is Feldman. Rabbi Sofer departed this world almost a year ago. Forgive me, I have worldly matters to attend to.
I understand, Rabbi. And if someone were to help you with these workers?
In the words of the market woman trying to tempt a Jewish man into idolatry, what harm would it do?
I understand.
好，我们先调查周围的东西。啊，这边有一个。好，我们得出结论。好，这边已经没有了啊，然后我们点它操纵。
Back up. God helps those who help themselves.
But maybe you're right, Rabbi. Maybe Hashem is afflicting us, setting a test for us.
You heard the guy talking about Sofer. The old man cursed this place, especially these cellars.
So I'll go on my own and show that Hashem protects me against curses in Hashem's domain.
On your own. You can seal up your daddy's barn, right? Fine, let's go.
You've gotten the better of me again, Hashem. Your tests still surprise me, but if this is your will, I think Hashem has sent you to me. Who are you?
I'm the son of Stanisław Szulski, and I really need help.
Let's go into my office. Let's show Hashem we accept the challenge.
我们跟着他进他办公室啊。进来第一时间点这个唱片啊，别到时候又收集不到了。我们还有一个唱片就收集完了，估计要下一章了。好，先把阅读的该读的读了，然后这个支线给它接了。这里能接到一个无所畏惧啊。这无所畏惧也是一个异界种的支线啊，后面我们的异界种大部分是靠支线来了啊。这后面这几个，我们现在身上有两个啊，一个是空中的马，一个是无所畏惧啊，这两个都能拿到异界种，分别对应的这两个异界种啊。后面两个谁这个暂时还不知道啊，然后后面玩到了再说。我们先继续谈话。
Please tell me what problem brought you here.
Rabbi Sofer put a curse on my father. Unfortunately, it started affecting his children as well.
A curse is a serious accusation, you know. I find it hard to believe Sofer would do such a thing.
Maybe, Rabbi, you could tell me something about golems.
Son of Stanisław, golems are a matter of Kabbalah, and you are not allowed to study them. It's a trap for a soul. There are tales of golems being summoned for revenge, or in good faith, for protection. But they all end rather badly. And you claim that Sofer supposedly sent a golem?
I don't know. Did the old rabbi perhaps leave some things here? May I take a look at them?
Yes, here you are. All his books are here. I don't think I threw anything out. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Rabbi, could you tell me something about Sofer?
He was fair, but also difficult and very principled, like this city. Riots, provocations, pogroms, overpopulation. But if he's the one who inflicted the curse, he must have been a powerful thaumaturge and Kabbalist.
Who can summon a golem?
Normally, it's determined by need. The Kabbalist rabbi summons the golem himself, but other Jewish people can also entreat him to do so. In legends, the golem is a terrible punishment and a tool for meting out divine justice. But I think it's an offense against Hashem, and revenge is no justice.
Rabbi, could you help me understand something about Kabbalah?
No, and I'll say no more on the subject. I fear for your soul.
How can I stop a golem?
To summon it to life, you write the 3 Hebrew letters spelling Emes, truth, on the clay that formed it. In an attempt to stop the monster, the heroes of these legends would erase the first letter from its clay body. That leaves Mes, which means death. But I don't know how much truth is in that.
I'm afraid that I won't find anything more here. Thank you, Rabbi.
接着我们搜索一下这整个线索，把线索都收集齐，然后再和他对话啊。好，然后我们再与他对话。
Rabbi?
I'm listening.
I found a prescription belonging to the old rabbi. Was something troubling him?
He had heart problems. The local pharmacist would even bring him some kind of special medicine.
What was that pharmacist called?
Abraham Horovitz. But now his pharmacy is sitting empty.
Let me guess. He's dead?
Unfortunately. Some say that the socialists were involved. Others claim it was the Ochrana's doing. Let's keep talking, if you need to.
Mordechai Hayat. Do you know that name, Rabbi?
He owns one of the laundries here in Miruf, but I admit he doesn't really come to see me. Maybe there are other things I could be of more help with.
I'll be off now.
I'll pray for you.
这些所有的目标啊，所有的东西都找齐了，然后还有一个这个什么药房啊。我们先出去。好，来到这边药房门口，跟着任务指示走就行了啊，就不展示位置了。然后把里面线索全部搜刮一遍。 然后这边得出结论，这边额外目标也完成了，然后再找他谈话。好，我们跟着任务点走，一直来到这边，这边会有几个暴徒要跟他战斗啊。
You ain't had enough of Warsaw yet? You know what I need of...
I just want...
He must. You'll have...
你不管怎么讲，他都要战斗啊，还不如用傲慢的那个语气。这边直接开打啊，然后这边是韦莱斯解除，突破哈瓦奇。这边我给他一个旧伤。这里我会用一下韦莱斯，用一个这个技能，然后，哦，我被减速了是吧？是真的烦，给个减速。这不用管了。哦，还是得管一管。但是在后面，算了算了算了。哎，我真是无语了。给个减速。先把它解除掉吧。那真恶心的减速。让你给减速，恶心巴拉的。减速应该是他给的，他身上刚刚有个 buff。巴掌呼死你！你给我减速。他这个断了啊！我用一个回血。好好躺着吧，给个减速，恶心巴拉的。这边是那个地图收集品啊，大家自己去拿，我这边暂时不拿。好，战斗完，我们往这里面走，办公室。那办公室没什么，现在暂时不探索，先跟他对话。
More bodies than they usually fish out of the Vistula, practically every day. They were only just writing about Povishla.
But listen to this. They're saying it's some giant did it all.
You sure?
Maybe I can help. Recently, I've taken an interest in one of those.
Leave us alone. Did you wander in here by mistake?
I hope those guys outside are your relatives. Otherwise, you're paying too much for your protection. Are you scared of something?
I'm not easily frightened. I have the time spent working with your father to thank for that. You got some dirty laundry that needs cleaning, Mr. Shulsky.
I was interested in this giant you mentioned to the fishmonger.
I can't help you. Rabbis are the ones who deal with golems.
I didn't say anything about a golem.
I'm afraid I can't help you. And now, if you'd like...
Let's have a word about your conflict with my father.
There was no such thing. I have warm feelings for the store, and his father as well.
Why did you quit working for my father?
It was a mutual decision.
I know that you and my father parted ways in bad terms. What happened?
We both had difficult personalities, but I still remember him fondly.
You're not telling me everything.
I don't have to explain myself to you, Mr. Shulsky.
I'm leaving now, but I can tell this won't be the last time we meet.
Farewell.
好，我们这边再搜刮一下这些线索，然后我们再找他对峙啊。这边得出结论。这边没别的线索了啊，继续和他对话。之前因为我们那个另外一个条件，就附近的书房那些都搜索过了，所以我们这边可以直接对话。如果你前面是先来的这边，你后面还要去我们刚刚那些地方去把线索全部收集完，再过来对话啊。
Is there something else you need?
Let's talk about your relationship with my father. A tense relationship.
Mr. Shulsky, I'll say it one more time. Stanisław and I didn't quarrel.
Liar. Your anger still lingers around the photograph of my father. You're going to find it hard to hide anything from me.
I'm not in the habit of speaking ill of the dead, Mr. Shulsky. Especially to their family. Old grudges drove us apart. Not all stains are easy to remove, especially ones on a person's honor.
And might they give you a reason to seek revenge? A motive?
I can't summon golems if that's what you're getting at.
But you know there is such a possibility.
Is that all? I need to get back to work.
I know about the pharmacist.
Beg your pardon?
All this is because Abraham Horowitz, isn't it? He lost his life, and the whole community felt it. Seems like you did most of all. I just don't get why Horowitz was so important to you.
Community. Something you Shulskis don't know a thing about. Here, we take care of everyone equally. No one is more or less important than anyone else. Your father's punishment was fitting for his actions and his background. The wrath of the Jewish people. A death for a death.
Was it worth it? A golem is a blunt instrument that kills and harms everyone in reach.
What are you talking about?
You wanted to teach my father a lesson, and you did. It's too bad innocent people died in the process. The building that collapsed on Stanisław, which was inhabited by people. Now all that's left of them are some damaged items. That's what happens every time the golem physically manifests. Random people lose their lives due to its untamed power.
No, it can't be. It wasn't supposed to be that way.
I don't think the punishment is adequate for the crime. Horovitz had something on his conscience. He must have, if both the Ohrana and the Socialists were interested in him. And what my father did, I can't believe I'm saying this, but his motives seem noble.
Oh, do they?
There's no trace of cruelty in his actions. He didn't do it for his own profit, but for some kind of greater good.
Without any specifics, those are just words.
My father and Sofer knew one another for years. Father knew the rabbi could be forced to create a golem if Horovitz was killed. They both took that risk. Sofer couldn't reveal that he knew Stanisław. He also knew that Horovitz had to disappear because he was a threat to too many people.
To whom?
That doesn't matter. You don't have anything to do with this, Mordechai. Just like I have nothing to do with my father's actions. I am connected to them only by my blood.
What do you want?
To get rid of the golem. Tell me something, anything, that will get me closer to a solution.
Instead of telling you, I'll show you.
Where? Into an alley, where some friend of yours will smack me around?
To the synagogue. Are you coming?
I'll join you. I hope it's worth my while.
I'll call Feldman and wait in the basement. He should see this too.
好，这个对话结束了啊。刚刚选项虽然看有的选项他没选，他其实有的没让你选，他是因为是没有选项的，他就直接让你直接把那个剧情就放完了啊。好，我们继续去那个会堂。好，跟着他们去地下室。这个你得跟着他们啊，不然你走远了，他们就不走了。好，我们来到地下室这边，先找线索。好，4个线索找完，我们就得出结论。接着保存对话。
So,
no wonder the roof is leaking if the foundation is crumbling. A lovely metaphor, Hashem. But what happened here had nothing to do with Hashem. Did it?
Mr. Shulsky wished to know the origin of his curse. This is where it took its shape. If I'd... Now I see it differently, but back then, when I was talking to Sofer, revenge and justice seemed one and the same.
Revenge is no justice. It is always dictated by anger, and in anger, erring comes easily. But Sofer agreed to it.
He summoned the golem. What else do you want to know?
what do you remember from the moment you summoned the golem?
Nothing. I don't want to go back to that.
Your memory takes shape and forms into words. Talk to me, Mordechai.
I feel cold. Cold from the clay seeps into my fingers, into my bones. But the Colossus I've been sculpting for hours is nearly ready. Sopher whispers the spell in Hebrew, but his words throb in my temples and soul. The Colossus comes to life and looks at me.
What did Sopher say then?
I don't know.
Speak!
I couldn't hear, I swear. I couldn't hear. Truly. Enough, I beg you. Enough. Your family and your blood deserved this curse. Enough.
Hayat. How could Sopher have done something like this? And you, sir, how are you not ashamed?
Hayat isn't the one this clay colossus is following. An eye for an eye, Rabbi.
Isn't that just the sort of thinking that got us into the situation we're in now? Perhaps we can learn from our mistakes.
This place won't tell me any more.
And what have you learned?
The hole you can't miss over there is the new door the golem smashed when it was summoned to life.
And no one saw anything. How is that possible?
These are the remains of some fabric that Sopher wrote something on, in Hebrew, I think. This might be some prayer, incantation, even a spell. There's not enough left to read anything. The clay formed a shell that Sopher infused with the saluter. Hayat brought it and spent hours shaping the body of the golem.
Hours? That must have been horribly exhausting.
What's a few hours in exchange for a curse that lasts generations? That's all, but I'm not any closer to a solution. I need someone like Sopher.
A thaumaturge and a Kabbalist?
Do you know one, Rabbi?
Well, there is someone. Normally, I'd advise against contacting him, but after considering these extraordinary circumstances, and with trust in your choice of a path to lead me down, I'm compelled to reveal that it's Ariel Rofe.
Of course.
Do you know one another?
You could say that. I'll track him down.
All right, I think it's time for us to go. This place just makes the blood boil. Shall we?
I want to look around a little more. I'll find my own way out.
Please, look after yourself.
好的，我们这个一脉诅咒这个任务就完成了。后面接着这个后面的主线是纷乱崩解，这个我们下期视频再见啊！拜拜。